input variable. So the variable which is determined from this table will be used as an input variable, and then we will write a logic, a derivation logic, that based on this input variable the target entities are changed. So this will be the second derivation logic. So a table object, a definition of a variable, the use of the procedure call to read this variable, and then in the second rule to influence or to derive the value of the two fields, MRP type and MRP group, in the target entity. So this and during this process we also need to use a post exit on the cross entity baddie. So we will go to the class, identify the method, and then in the method we will then create a post exit. So this is the outline. So let's go to the system and see how this is implemented. So in the SAP system, the first thing we need to create is to define a data object. So let's go to USMD underscore rule, which is basically a transaction code to open the BRF plus framework. The first thing we need to enter is the data model, and within data model we will then create a data object. So the type of the data object will be an element. So we see that there is a catalog structure, FMDM model underscore and using the context so using the context menu, we will go to object node, and then we will create a data object of type element. So here I'll select element. On the window we will call this data object with a name. So let's say call this as and use the capital letters, attribute. So let's call this attribute value 03, and I will then copy this as short text and text. Then below in the binding I will define this bind to the DDIC structure, and in this DDIC, so I'll say USMD underscore value, and then I'll say OK. So once we define this, so an element gets created. So let's press the create button. So a new element gets generated. So we can then activate this. So object saved and activated, a new element gets created. Now the second prerequisite that is required is to open the class. So we go to SC24, and then we select the object type which is basically the standard class. So we will identify the method. So for the sake of demonstration, we have already created a post exit.